Have you noticed that we have all the most brilliant arguments in the world and people just don't seem to be interested? We talk about international law, and Israel has the best case in terms of international law. They use the word genocide, which is so obscene. We faced a genocide. That was what was the catalyst for creating Israel. We faced another mini-genocide on October 7th, and Israel has shown more military precision in this war than any army ever has in the history of urban warfare. And yet they dare use the word genocide, where it seems like almost 1 in 2 of those killed in Gaza have been Hamas terrorists. If in a sane world, the world be saying, Israel, please teach us how you have such precision in your military battles. So have you noticed that people aren't interested? They're not interested in the basic facts. So something's not working. And on top of that, they're also deeply obsessed with what's going on. Despite there being so many other conflicts, not just in the Middle East, but throughout the rest of the world, that have far higher casualties, civilian casualties, far higher levels of displacement, kidnapping, 2 million Uyghurs oppressed in China, Muslim Uyghurs. No, they don't care. What's happening is we see the world's attention totally focused on us, and yet not interested in all the arguments we have to use. And there's another element to the mix, which is that we are facing a region that is deeply religious. And they certainly have no respect for international law and, well, look, we're protecting civilians and all the things that we tell them. It's like we're talking to the West, but we're in the Middle East. And I think it seems like God is communicating to us and telling you, I'm giving you the microphone, and stop using those arguments you've been using up until now, because they're not. I'm showing you that they're not working, and use the argument that's actually the only kind of language that they would respect, which is to say quite simply, the creator of this universe assigned this land to us. You can't argue with that. And that's the only language that they'll actually respect. And people mock me when I say, oh, you think you can say that? I say, absolutely yes. They said, well, you can't say it because... I said, well, is it the truth? Is that the truth? And some may argue on that, but for those who do believe it's the truth, they say, yeah, but you can't say that. Well, if you've given up on the truth, then you're in a very bad spot. If it's the truth, say it. And you know what's amazing? What's crazy is that the parsha that we were reading on the day that the October 7th massacre occurred, what was it? Does anyone know? We're reading Genesis, the first parsha in the Torah. Who's the most famous Torah commentary that we know? Rashi. His first comment on the Torah, on Genesis, on Bereshit, what does he say? It's amazing. The first comment he says is, why does the Torah begin with God creating the world? Surely if it's about God's commandments to the Jewish people, it should begin with the commandments. It's a good, interesting question. And you know what his answer is? His answer is very simple. He said, because there will come a time in the future where the nations of the world will say to the Jewish people, you are thieves. You're colonial occupiers of a land that is not yours. And the Jewish people will respond by saying, God is the creator of heaven and earth, and he assigned this land to us. That's his first comment. So it seems that there's actually something essential that is tied into the very destiny of this world and how it will reach its divine purpose. Something is very deeply connected with that and the Jewish people's relationship with the land of Israel, and the argument, the language they use to articulate their relationship with that land. And it seems very clear that what we're being told here is that what God is pushing us towards is forcing us, whether we like it or not, to come into our role as Jews, to be his voice to the world, and try one argument that we haven't yet tried that actually probably would resonate, because it is the very destiny of the world, which is to say very simply, God, if you were to ask him who he is, he would say he is the God of Israel. And he has a special relationship. It's not about superior or inferior, but he has a particular relationship with the people of Israel to be his voice to the world. And he assigned them the land of Israel as their land from which to manifest that mission. And I think if we say that, truth has power. And we haven't been doing it enough up until now. And I think it's because we're a bit scared and we're intimidated, but my view is the time has come to say it.